Hey guys, John TM Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to answer a question that I get asked, well, fairly regularly, and it's a good question. And I thought we'd just jump into it today. So it really has to do with why I decided to buy a condo instead of renting. All right, let's get started with that. It is, why would I buy at all? That's really the question. For me, it's like owning my own space. I can decorate it, I can leave it, I can do anything I want with it, leave my clothes there, and eventually, if I wanted to, I could rent it out. When I did the math, renting at, let's say, 20,000 a month, that'd be about $3,800 a year that I'd be paying in rent if I did not buy a place. So I look at that over 20 years, and that's just, well, it's a bunch of money. And I look at that and I go, well, let's just save the money and buy instead of rent. So financially, it makes sense to me. Of course, you get some pros and cons with that idea. The pro is that it's an asset. I get to control it. I don't feel like I'm throwing my money away. Both those things are important to me. But yeah, you do have to pay cash because you're not going to be able to get financing in Thailand, most likely, if you're not a citizen. So that's a downside. And you need to have a Thai will if you decide you want to pass it on to your heirs down the road at some point. So, the big question that people always have about the whole thing is, can foreigners own property in Thailand? Now, here's where it gets kind of interesting. Foreigners can't legally own land in Thailand, but we can own a condo as long as we're buying in what's called the foreign quota. Condo buildings are divided into two quotas. Thai quota, 51%, that's for Thai citizens, and foreign quota, 49%, that's for the rest of us that aren't citizens. If you're a foreigner, you want to make sure you're buying within that 49%. That way you can sell it to anyone later, Thai or foreign. There's two main types of ownership when you look at condos. The first is freehold, and that's where you own it outright. And that's really kind of the gold standard of buying a condo in Thailand. The second way is leasehold, and basically that's a long-term rental for 30 years or more. It can be renewed, but it's not true ownership. Some buildings even get torn down after that 30 years and get rebuilt. You never know when that lease expires. Go for freehold if you can afford it and swing it. Hidden cost and maintenance are an issue always with any type of condo. And in Thailand, you're going to find there's two basic types of fees that you'll hear about. First one is maintenance fees, and that's based on how many square meters your place is. And they charge an annual fee of, well, my 50 square meter condo runs about 24,000 baht per year. So that's about 40 baht per square meter per year. Sinking fund, that's a one-time fee that's paid when you're buying a new condo. It goes towards future building upgrades, and you usually don't have to pay that on a resale unit. Very seldom will you see that. They're not outrageous numbers, but it's good to understand and know what it's all about up front. Now, the legal stuff is something you really don't want to skip. Now, listen, technically, you can buy a condo without a lawyer. You can just show up at the land office with the seller, sign the papers, and bang, it's yours. But all the documents are in Thai. Unless you're fluent in Thai and know Thai property law, I highly suggest that you hire a Thai lawyer and a good real estate agent to help you out. In the US, we have real estate agents and they're all centralized on the MLS systems in the area. And Thailand, that just isn't the way it's done. They don't have that system. And the agents are not licensed, and their training really depends on who they are, how long they've been in business. Always a good idea in Thailand to get a referral or to ask around and make sure you take your time when you're hunting for that realtor to help you out. Now, house book and other legal paperwork are something that you're going to hear about and you need to understand. Once you own the place, you'll need something called a house book or a tab and bond. It's basically a government document that proves you live there. It doesn't prove that you own it, it just proves you live there. And you're going to need that for doing things like setting up electricity, getting power to the place. You're going to need to file your TM30, and you'll need that at least the first time when you go do that, when you come back for immigration. And even opening a Thai bank account, they usually require proof of a house book, prove that you live someplace. So don't skip that step. It's really important. The other document that you're going to hear about that's different than what we have in the US is called the Chanote. The Chanote is a big piece of paper of mine, and it has a legal seal on it. And on the back, it shows the transfers of the property as they've happened. It's actually a written version of the title to the property. So a Chanote is something that you're going to get once you pay for the property and it's in your name. You'll have your name on there, and whoever helps you with your paperwork is going to show you what your name looks like in Thai language. So that's another important thing to have, and make sure you keep the Chanote and the house books together because you're going to need that for things in the future. So if you're thinking about buying off plan, you got to do this first. Buying off plan means buying before construction. It can be a really good deal, but there's also some risk. I did it, but I hired an attorney to check out the developer's permits and ownership. You want to make sure they actually own the land, it's actually been approved, and they're not going to go broke halfway through construction. That's happened before, and when it does, buyers lose everything. A few $100 for a lawyer can save you a world of headache. One last thing, and that's to make a Thai will. I don't think a lot of people think about this when they buy something overseas, but you've got to have a will to move your property from yourself to your loved ones when you pass away. It's really important because the Thais don't recognize the US will when you're talking about transferring that property. You'd have to go through a whole long probate system in Thailand in order for your loved ones to get that place. So talk to a Thai attorney and make sure that you've got peace of mind with that. Well, in closing, to wrap it all up, there's just so much you have to do. Of course, in buying a condo in Thailand, well, this isn't everything, but it's a few things to remember. It's not hard, and it's not quite like buying back home. If you do your homework, hire the people that you need to work with, and stay patient, you can end up with a beautiful home base here in Thailand, just like I did. If you found this helpful, give us a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And hey, if you've got questions or future ideas for videos, just drop them below. I read every one of them. Until next time, stay flexible, stay curious, and keep living that flex nomad life. I'm Jeff Mays, John PM Jeff.